कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्. This particular verse tells us that the great cuckoo, who was not saying cuckoo but saying Ram Ram, and these sweet nectarine like words may ring in my heart, and from this let emerge the beautiful scripture or itihasam called as Srimad Ramayana. All that we have been seeing this while is the death of Tataka by the hands of Ram, and while he was coming along with sage Vishwamitra, Vishwamitra was narrating him the incarnation of Vamanamurti of the Lord, and how he suppressed the arrogance of the king called Bali Chakravarti, who was the grandson of Prahlad. Now, I mentioned that this story narration was not without a cause, but for a reason. What is the reason? Ram was the one who was born to annihilate the evil forces, and one who was leading that particular team of evil forces was Ravan. So Ravan was to be killed by Ram, but that would happen later in the 6th canto, which is Yuddha Kandam. Vishwamitra, who was a Brahma Rishi who could see the future, wanted to motivate Ram. Hey Ram, you will be the one who will be protecting the innocent. You will be the one who will annihilate the evil forces. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya. Thus, you will be the one who will be establishing righteousness, dharma. To motivate Ram, he has to tell Ram in the right way. And if you would tell a Kshatriya that you will be very strong, you will win, that may actually be a sign of how you are being sarcastic at his valor. So he had to tell him the story, at the same time bring out the reason. So he said, Bali Chakravarti's arrogance was won over by Narayan. Well, there is a little tale in another version of Ramayana called as Ananda Ramayanam. And Ravan found that Bali Chakravarti was playing the game of dice with his wife. While he saw Bali Chakravarti playing, he was surprised. Such a great king, Bali Chakravarti is here. Nevertheless, even I am a great king, and while I am here, why shouldn't he be there? To bring down the arrogance of Ravan, what Bali Chakravarti did was, instead of rolling the dice onto the board where he was playing with his wife, he threw the dice at a faraway place and said, "The one who is standing there, go get that piece of dice for me." It was Ravan who was standing there, and it is believed that Ravan tried lifting up that piece of dice and he couldn't do it. So Bali Chakravarti said, "Now your simple act of lifting a dice cannot be done. How can I believe the claim that you have lifted the mountain of Kailash? So, hey Ravan, your arrogance should be suppressed." And it is believed that Bali won over Ravan. Well, let's go to the story. Bali Chakravarti's arrogance was won over by Ram, who is none other than Narayan. Bali Chakravarti won over the arrogance of Ravan. So Ravan's arrogance was won over by Bali. Bali's arrogance was won over by Narayan. Narayan is the one who was incarnated as Ram. So Ram has won over Ravan. To remind Ram of the fact that you will be the one who will annihilate Ravan. You will be the one who will always establish dharma. This particular story was narrated by Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra, as an act of gratitude, there is a beautiful saying in English, gratefulness is an act which should never be overlooked if we would like to raise ourselves in the world. To probably exemplify this great saying, Vishwamitra, as a sign of gratitude, Paropakara vismritirna yujjate managapi apakriyatu tatkrita tadaiva vismritavara, is another saying which says that you should never ever forget that little act of help, always be grateful. So to be grateful, Vishwamitra said, I may not have the best of the riches with me, I may not be a wealthy person, but my wealth is the Shastra Jnanam that I have got. Hey Ram, I'll teach you the Astra Vidya, and he taught him. Vajramastram narasreshtha shaivam shulavaram tatha astram brahmashiraschaiva aishikamapi raghava. He taught him all the kind of astras. What is an astram and what is a shastram? Shastram in Sanskrit denotes a weapon. A knife is a shastram. A spear is a weapon. Bow and the quiver of arrows, they are also weapons. So they are all shastram. But when I would infuse them with a mantra, then it becomes an astram. The same arrow, if it is infused with the mantram of Vayu, it is called Vayavastram. Then if it is done with the Agni mantram, it is Agneyastram. If it is done with the Brahmas mantram, it is called as Brahmastram. If it is done with Shiva's mantra, it is called as Pashupatastram. If it is done with Narayan's mantra, which is the highest of all, then it is called as Narayanastram. So all kind of astras were taught by sage Vishwamitra to Ram and Lakshman. Along with this, Vishwamitra taught a special kind of astram called as Aishikam. What is this Aishikam? Aishikam is that particular strategy in archery wherein if the person who always deals with the quiver of arrows and the bow is left with none. There can be cases in the war where the person who is fighting does not find arrows in the quiver, does not have the bow is broken. Then what does he do? So he can use a little blade of grass which is on the ground, do the mantra ucharanam on it, and that will turn into an astram and that will go hunting that particular person. So it's called as Aishikam. Why did the sage Vishwamitra teach Aishikam to Ram? This is another act which Vishwamitra did very cleverly, because he knew that at a certain point of time Ram would be sent on an exile to the forest along with wife Sita and his brother Lakshman. There will be a point of time when Ram has to shoot a crow that had committed an obscene act at Sita. So at that point of time, Ram may not find his quiver of arrows and the bow next to him. He will just find lots of grass next to him. And at that point of time, Ram may need to pick up a blade of grass, infuse it with the mantra and let it out as Brahmastram against the crow. So thinking of what would happen in the future, Vishwamitra taught this particular act called as Aishikam to Ram. Now Ram and Lakshman, after having learnt the Shastrartham and especially the Astra Vidya from Vishwamitra, after having killed Tataka, left to Vishwamitra's ashram. Vishwamitra said, "Hey Ram, whenever I start performing a sacrifice, whenever I perform a havan, it is then that the sons of Tataka and Sunda, namely Maricha and Subahu, always obstruct my sacrifice by throwing things, flesh and pots of blood into the havan, which will destroy the entire act and I will have to start the yajna all over again. Hey Ram, please protect my sacrifice." Ram said, "Hey Maharishi, you should never request to this slave of yours. You should just command an order. You are the Acharya and I am the Sishya. You are the great king and I am your subject. I need to be commanded and you need to command. So don't worry, I, along with my brother Lakshman, shall ensure that you perform the sacrifice without any obstacle." Ram, he made Lakshman stand at one spot and Ram went around the Yajnavatika, the place where the sacrifice was performed, in a pradakshina fashion. Dakshinam in Sanskrit means south. Dakshinam in Sanskrit also means right. Always keeping your right towards the center where you are doing the circumambulation, you keep your right towards it. Since the right is called as Dakshinam, you keep the right side of your body towards the Garbhagriham. Garbham means fetus or the uterus. Griham means house. Since the mother's womb is dark in color and compact for the fetus, likewise the idol of the Lord is always housed in that particular sanctum sanctorum, which is as protective as a mother's womb, like the uterus. Hence it is called as Garbhagriham. And towards the Garbhagriham, when you are doing the circumambulation, you always keep your right. The right side of the body is called as Dakshinam and the left is called as Vamam. Since the Dakshina part of the body is kept towards the Garbhagriham, that particular act is called as Pradakshinam. That is why you say Pradakshin karke aavo. Pradakshin means always keep your right. You should never keep your left. Then it becomes Pravamam. Pravamam is not allowed. It is only Pradakshinam which is allowed. So Ram did the Pradakshin around the Yajnavatika while keeping Lakshman constant. Here a beautiful analogy is given by Valmiki, who says that it was like the pair of eyes which was protecting the eye. How is that possible? Your lower eyelid is always constant if you observe. Your lower eyelid is constant, and that which is inside the eye is protected by the upper eyelid. So the lower eyelid is constant. It doesn't have to do any particular act. It just has to be there. And the upper eyelid opens, closes, opens, closes. So this is constant. The lower eyelid is constant, whereas the upper eyelid is a variable. That is what we learn in algebra, right? Variables and constants. So Lakshman was made to stand in one place. He didn't have to strain. He didn't have to exert himself. So he stood there like the lower eyelid, and the eye was Vishwamitra's yagam, the sacrifice, and it was protected by Ram, who was the upper eyelid, by going as pradakshinam around the Yajnavatika. At that particular point of time, Subahu and Maricha appeared. So Ram and Lakshman protected the sacrifice for 6 nights. At the end of it, Subahu and Maricha appeared, and while they were just about to throw, with Agneastram, Ram killed Subahu and he drove away Maricha 100 yojanas away. Yojana is a word of measurement or distance which appears in all our scriptures. 1 yojana roughly translates to 8 miles currently. So 1 yojana is equal to 8 miles. So 100 yojanas is equal to 800 miles. So Ram killed one of the brothers Subahu, and he drove away the other brother Marich 100 yojanas away, which is 800 miles. Thereby Vishwamitra and his friend Rishi's sacrifices were protected by Ram and Lakshman. To summarize this event beautifully, a great poet from Kerala, who was called as Narayana Bhattadri, describes it in one beautiful verse. Kodandi Kaushikasya Kratuvaramavitum Lakshmane Nanu Yato Yato Bhutastatavacha Munikatitumanu Dvandashanta Dvakhedaha Nrinam Tranaya Banair Munivachana Balat Tatakam Patayitva Labdva Asmat Astrajalam Munivanagamano Devasiddhashramakhyam. What a beautiful summary he has brought, saying that Vishwamitra along with Ram and Lakshman went to the forest. Vishwamitra narrated many stories. Ram and Lakshman listened to them carefully. Ram killed Tataka, Ram killed Subahu, and Ram drove away Maricha 100 miles away, and after protecting the sacrifice, Ram and Lakshman followed Vishwamitra in the forest. But now Vishwamitra is not done with his set of stories. He has more stories to say. Let's listen to what more stories he has to say in the next episode. Thank you.